So, what does Christmas look like for you and your loved ones? Is it a quiet, peaceful, cozy time? Or are you more of a festive, whirlwind kind of person? And how do your Christmas traditions show up in your family? Are there little rituals that bring everybody together? Maybe it's family movie night. I love that. We've got so many Christmas movies that we still watch together as adults. Maybe it's baking cookies together or putting up the tree in a really special way. What's one memory from Christmas past that makes you smile? Is it from your childhood, or is it a new memory with your family that you'll cherish forever? And is there a tradition that you always look forward to, no matter what? Now, with Christmas right around the corner, we're talking about something that's actually really close to my heart and possibly yours, and that's family Christmas traditions. And do you know what? We're also going to look at our MBTI personalities because, as we all know, we actually bring a lot of our personality into our Christmas celebrations. I'm Kate Mason, and welcome to Parenting and Personalities. This is the podcast that connects you to the ones you care about the most. Now, today, we're going to mix a bit of festive cheer with some personality traits and behaviours that can shape how we handle and celebrate Christmas. And we'll be chatting to some of our wonderful guests who we've had on during the year who'll share their favourite holiday traditions. Now, have you ever thought about how your personality type and family dynamics does actually influence the way you celebrate the holidays? So let's take a quick look at how we each bring something special to the table when it comes to the holiday time of year. I want to begin with extroverts and introverts because, as you probably know by now, I am an extrovert. I am so energized by the outer world, I actually find it really hard to sit still. Now, for those of you who are extroverts, how do you actually feel about the holidays at Christmas time? Do you thrive on those big family gatherings, the parties, and all those social events? Most extroverts love the activities that come with Christmas. Now, over the years, I've hosted many big Christmas family functions with a few friends thrown in as well. And I was and am always really excited by the socializing and the energy involved. There's something for me about having a full house of people. For me, Christmas isn't actually all about just my immediate family. It's about making sure that no one misses out on being part of that special holiday feeling. I'm the one who invites extra people to our gatherings. For instance, many years ago, we had this wonderful woman who was 20 years older than my mum, and I adopted her as my best friend, and she shared 20 Christmases with us until she was 102. My poor family just have to put up with that, I guess. So whether it's a distant relative or a friend who's alone, I love to take in people and just have them with me for the celebrations. Now, here's the catch for the extrovert. While we're having a great time and a constant buzz of social interactions, possibly your introverted family members are probably wishing for a little peace and quiet. And as an extrovert, it's easy to get caught up in planning social events and forgetting that, you know what, everyone's not actually energized by the same things. I've learned over time that my reluctance to slow down and cut back on all those fun activities can actually be overwhelming for me as well. So, here are just a few reminders for extroverts from an extrovert who's actually trying to pace herself. You always take the lead in organizing the holiday fun, but be mindful of how many activities you're planning. Consider the needs of your introverted family members and friends. And while we're buzzing around with excitement, they might actually need a quiet break or some quiet time alone. So pause and assess your busy schedule. Are you overloading yourself and your family with activities? And do you know what? A little balance might possibly make those holidays more enjoyable for everyone. For me, in all of this, the extrovert's learning is that sometimes it's actually about creating a space where everyone feels comfortable and connected in their own way. Now, if you're a quieter, more introverted person, you might be able to relate to this. While we extroverts are out there living it up, many of you introverts are wondering if it's actually too late to put that do not disturb sign on your door. My husband Paul would much rather stay at home away from large crowds of people at Christmas and only hang out with a small group of well known friends and family. Christmas for an introvert is all about intimate gatherings. That's even if they actually want to do that. So if you're an introvert, you are more likely to get your Christmas holiday shopping done online because you can skip all those crowded malls and enjoy your time for yourself. But when it's time for that really big family dinner, that's a whole new level of mental gymnastics for you. Because let's face it, a long day of socializing with relatives is not always an introvert's idea of fun. And to tell the truth, not always an extrovert's either. Now, for those of you who are introverted, I know this holiday chaos can be a bit much. So, I've just got a few tips for you to help you recharge during the Christmas season. First of all, fight for your peace and quiet. You might come against people like me all the time, so don't be afraid to set boundaries and carve some time out for yourself, even during this hustle and bustle of the Christmas holidays. When you're at home, embrace those quiet moments. If you're feeling overwhelmed, retreat to a quiet place with a good book or a favourite movie. Those simple pleasures will go a long way for you. If big parties aren't your thing, opt for small, intimate gatherings. They're so much more relaxing, and they let you connect at a deeper level without draining your energy. So, whether it's a walk outside or a nap or finding some moment of peace, hopefully that'll help you maintain your holiday spirit. And remember, you are the only one that can take care of yourself. No one else is really going to care. So, make sure that you do it well. Now, let's take a short break from our discussion about personalities at Christmas time with our guests Steph and her daughter Kate, who share with us some of their Christmas traditions, both old and new.
Christmas traditions, my mum started with us, which she would read the night before Christmas. I'm sure lots of people do this. Um, I just have the deepest, fondest, heartfelt connection and memory of sitting on mum's lap and she's reading the night before Christmas. So, of course, I did that with my children and have the fondest memory. I literally tear up every year. I don't know what it is, it's deeply special in my heart and soul. And to my great delight, not that it was ever an instruction, but now Kate does that with Cece, but includes me. So I said, there's the three of us sit there together and I cry. And and this year's going to be the most special of all because she'll actually know what's being read to her.
Oh, thank
So
you.
that's probably our strongest tradition, isn't
Oh,
it?
that's lovely. Thank you, Steph and Kate.
Yeah, so one that we've started this year, which funnily enough, I was mentioning to mum and she said she actually used to do something similar with us. So maybe I'm not as unique as I thought. But we've started doing a Christmas trip each year and going out. Cece gets a trolley and gets to fill it up with as many toys as she can fit in there. And we donate them to a local charity who provides the gifts to children that might not have presents at Christmas otherwise. Because I think it's just as much as I love and adore Christmas and get very caught up in the Christmas spirit, I think I always want my kids to be very aware of the privilege that comes with that, of being able to have presents and things to open on Christmas Day, that I want to make sure we always kind of balance that with giving back at this time of year as well.
Thank you. They are two very beautiful traditions, very different and very beautiful. Thank you so much. Now, let's get back into the MBTI and talk about intuitives and sensing types and the kinds of presents that they buy for others and the kind of presents that they would actually really like to receive. Now, if you're an intuitive, you've got your eye on the quirky, offbeat gifts, the unusual ones that show how well you understand somebody's unique taste. But do you know what? Not everyone actually shares your love for things abstract and avant garde. And you might think that what you're giving someone is a beautifully thought out, deeply personal gift, only to have that recipient blink and go, oh, wow, thanks. In the meantime, your sensing family members are out there picking up the safe gifts, socks, mugs, and maybe a cookbook. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. But as an intuitive, you might be feeling a bit like, yeah, that's a bit ordinary about those practical gifts. Now, if you're a sensing type, you are all about practicality. You've got all the basics covered socks, scarves, and maybe a nice set of candles. You're the ones that won't stray too far from traditional Christmas, and you're perfectly happy picking up something that's useful and, really safe. So, here are some words of wisdom on gift giving. Because everybody gives gifts so differently, and most people think about what they would like to receive rather than giving what the other person would like to receive. So, what I want you to do is really think about the other person. And when I talk about this with people, they'll say things like, "Oh, yeah, I know they like that, but I think they should have this." And often they give a gift that they like, and the person receiving it doesn't really enjoy that gift. So, this season, give a gift that will give someone else the greatest joy, not bringing you the greatest joy for yourself. Sometimes we really forget this and we make huge present giving mistakes. So when you are gifting to someone who's intuitive, think about creativity, experiences, and the things that are going to spark their imagination. Because these are people who love something just a little quirky and different. The best gift for them isn't something practical, and as a sensing person, I really struggle with intuitives, but it's something that appeals to their sense of novelty and possibilities. They appreciate uniqueness, so do not buy any item off the shelf that isn't special. Make sure it's something with a story, perhaps something handmade, or a gift that shows you've thought about their interests in a way that no one else might. For example, when an intuitive might prefer an experience over a physical gift, it might be a piece of artwork or a personalized pottery class. My son recently gave his intuitive partner a secret picnic trip around the hills where they picked up a clue at each spot. He also gave her an overnight stay on a farm. So she loved it. And these kind of things are things that they can use their intuitive to explore. They love things that make them think, dream, and connect to bigger ideas. And personalization is the key. If it's thoughtful, a little offbeat, or imaginative, it's going to hit the mark every time. So have a think about anyone that you might think is intuitive in your life and try it. Go for something different. Now, sensing types are often drawn to gifts that are reliable, functional, and familiar, and they appreciate something that's useful and it aligns with their tangible world. They might ask for a specific item, and it's best to stick to that request without getting too experimental. My sensing son Jack used to give me a list each Christmas with the express request that I didn't buy anything that was not on the list, because he hates surprises. And if they weren't on a list, he didn't want it. Now, I only made that mistake once, and that was to buy him a goldfish, and the goldfish died a day later. So Jack gets everything that is on his Christmas list. If the sensing type mentions a new kitchen gadget or a blanket, that's exactly what they want, not a random gift of a personalized star map or something abstract. They like to know exactly what they're getting, and they want to use their gifts in a really hands-on way. They appreciate comfort and reliability, so don't go too far off script with something unexpected and too far out there, if you're an intuitive and you're listening right now, because it's all about knowing what they enjoy, keeping it simple but meaningful. So if you actually haven't completed your Christmas shopping yet, which, like myself, I haven't, please take this into account, because I've found this to be the most valuable information in my present buying journey. So are you a sensing or an intuitive? Think about how you like to give and receive gifts. Before we take a look at how our judging and perceiving influence our planning styles, let's hear from our guests Nick Fuller and Sheryl Kent as they share some of their favourite holiday traditions with us.
Okay, number one would have to be, it's a very old school approach, but the whole family sits around together in a circle and we unwrap one present at a time. And then we thank that person for the present. It's something that was ingrained from my father, and Christmas used to take a long, long time. We would be unwrapping presents all day. And, back then, I guess that was the time of the year when we were given presents. In the modern day environment, we tend to get presents all the time. So we are spoilt, but yeah, Christmas was a special time with family. And then the second thing was, look, it's there for fun, and food should be enjoyed at this time of the year. Do not deprive yourself or your children. Make responsible decisions, of course, but this is not about restricting and keeping out all of those treats and favorite foods. Enjoy them for what they are, particularly these certain foods that only come around once a year. So yeah, enjoy that time together as a family and enjoy the food.
Thanks, Nick. That's brilliant. And we did too. I made my kids sit and we all watched each other, and it used to take all
Yeah.
morning. It was
It takes
fantastic,
hours.
though. It does. But it is fantastic. It makes them sit and
Yeah.
wait too.
Yeah.
So, no, that's brilliant. Thank you so much. And thanks again for your time, Nick.
Thanks, Kate.
Can you tell me what traditions you love about Christmas, and what you and your family do?
Probably my favorite tradition would be similar to a lot of people. It would be gingerbread. So
Oh.
my father's mother was Swedish, and so they did a lot of cooking with ginger. And she made fabulous ginger cookies. So that's probably my favorite Christmas memory. And the kids, I think, expect those cookies at
Do they?
Christmas.
Do
Yeah.
they help you make them? Or
Yep.
it's just
Yep.
yeah?
They
Yeah.
will help me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are enjoyed. From my childhood, it would be mandarin orange. Santa would leave
Mm-hmm.
a mandarin orange in the toe of the stocking. And that was a big deal because we only got mandarin oranges right around Christmas. So Santa still leaves mandarin oranges in the toes of our stockings. So I'm not sure my children appreciate it so
Yes.
much. But
Not quite the same effect.
yeah, because you can get them pretty much
Mm.
year round now.
Yeah.
I think probably just the Christmas music. I enjoy that just around Christmas time.
So do I. I love it. I think it
Mhm.
really brings about a lot of sentiment and emotion around the time. And
Yeah.
my children have heard it so much, but they insist it starts on December the 1st. And
Mhm.
every time we get in the car, there will be a Christmas song on if they're traveling
Mhm.
with me, even at the
Yeah.
ripe old ages that they are. And I love that. I've got to admit, I do love Michael Bublé, and thank goodness he has a whole Christmas album because we've heard it many, many, many times.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I really hope you have a lovely Christmas.
Thank you. Bye. Merry Christmas.
At last, and not least, how judges and perceivers organize their Christmas. Well, this is for the planners. If you're a J, your Christmas is like a well-oiled machine. You might have started buying your Christmas presents in August. You are organized, thought out, and have probably got most things organized in your calendar by the end of November. You've got your presents all bought and wrapped, and they're neatly arranged well before the big day. Even your seating organisation for Christmas dinner is probably sorted out in early December, and you really feel on top of everything. Now, here's the thing for the judging type that gets a bit tricky for you, because despite all your planning, there's always going to be a moment when possibly a perceiving type like myself might forget something or change their plans on you at the last minute. Now, this can really throw out your perfectly organised event or day or anything that you're doing and leave you scrambling to make everything right again. I understand this is really stressful for you, but please be aware it might happen. So even with all that prep, there is going to be that pressure to keep everything perfect. And you know what? It might not happen. And you might be out there last minute shopping because no matter how hard you try to avoid it, it is inevitable. So is this you? On the flip side, perceivers like myself, we're living on the edge. Christmas shopping? Well, don't you do that the day before, or if not the morning of Christmas? Lists? Who needs those? You prefer to keep it spontaneous and fluid and let that holiday vibe just guide you where you want to go. Here's a little confession from me as a perceiving type with Christmas shopping. I actually love the thrill of last minute buying. There's just something about that rush that makes it exciting. But here's the catch for me too. I often miss out on those amazing sales like Black Friday that come before Christmas because I haven't decided what to get yet. However, I'm really fortunate because the judging types in my life actually organize me to buy those presents because they've seen them on sale and wanted me to get a cheaper present for them. So you know what? Sometimes that does work out. But this is what I like to do. Maybe I make a list and plan things out, but as the days go on, I'm still weighing up my options because I don't know what I'm going to be buying people. I really don't know what I want myself. But I do admit, as I get older and I have to prepare for more on Christmas Day, I do start to wonder if following that list might be the way to go. It always sounds really good. But when I write that list and it ends up just sitting there on the kitchen bench getting buried under a pile of holiday catalogues, I don't know what to do. Does anyone else do that? The last minute scramble definitely brings its own kind of energy. But maybe next year I'll actually use that list or keep it within arm's reach. But for now, I'll see you the day before Christmas in the shops. I think that thrill of rushing around to find that perfect gift is always going to win out. So here you have it. Christmas through the MBTI lens. We've got the planners, the procrastinators, the party lovers, the peace seekers, and more. And that's what makes the season so interesting. So whether you're matching up with your personality type, seeing how your family dynamics unfold, one thing for sure, we all have a unique way of celebrating the holidays. So which personality type are you? And what Christmas quirks have you noticed in your family? So let's keep it fun and full of personality this holiday season. And from the bottom of my heart, I really want to thank you for being here for me each week. And I want to wish you a magical Christmas and a wonderful holiday break. I hope your days are filled with joy and laughter and some moments of peace as you celebrate in your own special way with the people you love. Take care, and here's to a truly memorable holiday season. We finished today's podcast with our guest Jeanine as she tells us about her Christmas and holiday traditions.
Currently, well, as you know, my children are young adults. They're 27, 26, and 22. And a couple years ago, we shifted from giving gifts to having experiences together. So one thing that we just love to do, we live right near the Pacific Ocean, and there's a harbor with lots of boats near us, and they do a Christmas boat parade. And so we'll go rent like a little, what's called a Duffy boat, and we'll bring like we'll decide what we want to eat. Usually it's cheese and crackers and vegetables and a bottle of wine or two. And we get on the Duffy boat and we like drive around and check out all the Christmas lights and we laugh and just have fun together. So that's been really fun experience the last few years now that I've got young adults.
What a beautiful way to do it. Do you do any other experiences? Have you ever had put it towards any different experiences than that?
We do a lot of things at our house. Like we love to play a game called Bananagrams, or we'll get out a puzzle and do a puzzle together. Light the fire, get all cozy. We tend to like recreate Thanksgiving dinner for Christmas. So we all now that they're older, they all will help cook, and so we're cooking together. So yeah, we'll just
Mm,
do like more down home fun stuff around the house. And then we try to take a snow ski trip, but that doesn't always work.
right.
But the years that it has, it's been super fun. So yeah, just a little bit
Wonderful.
more.
It's really time with the family, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's all about time with them. Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely. And have you got anything that you can think of from your childhood that might have been a wonderful tradition or something that you really loved?
Well, I'm Jewish and was raised Jewish, and we raised our children Jewish. And we happen to celebrate Christmas
Right.
because my husband is not. So I carried over a lot of my childhood traditions around the holidays into with my kids. So we would light the Hanukkah candles every night, and we would sing Hanukkah songs, and we would play dreidel, which is a form of poker,
Right.
a kid version. You're spinning the dreidel and you ante up money and all of that. So that was always really fun. And then because there are 8 nights of Hanukkah, and I didn't want to spoil my children, we used to do theme nights. So like one night would be a book night, and everyone would get a new book, and we'd read a book together. And one night would be a movie night, and we watch a movie together. And one night would be game night. So I tried to do that to create like
Hmm.
family
Hmm.
experiences, which
Hmm.
that I actually didn't grow up with that. We grew up getting a gift a night. But it just felt over the top to me
Yeah.
with Hanukkah and Christmas. But I do miss those days where we would just sing Hanukkah songs and light the candles and play little games together. And then, of course, we would make latkes, which is like a potato pancake, which is also very traditional. So yeah, we
Wow.
got a lot of stuff going on
Yeah.
over on the Mouchawar house.
Yes. Oh, that's a wonderful way of including both cultures, though. How wonderful for your children to get to share and experience another culture and a different way of celebrating the holiday like that. So
Yeah.
that's fabulous. Thank you so much for sharing, and I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and Hanukkah and enjoy the whole
Oh,
process. And thank you for being such a wonderful guest this year.
oh, happy holidays to you, Kate, and your family. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to Parenting and Personalities. If you enjoyed this episode, we'd love it if you could leave a rating and a review that would help others learn about this podcast. If you're interested in discovering more about you and your family's personality types, you'll find my book, Who is This Monster or Treasure in My House, on Booktopia or Amazon. If you have an episode idea, please send a note to thepersonalitycoach@gmail.com. And many thanks to our producers at Stories and Strategies. And we'll see you next time.